You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
In motion left here, Montgomery.
26. Over here.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's brought down after a good gain. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. A play fake to start. Now Rodgers. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for check downs or dump offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And Crosby puts it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things, because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
We can talk about rookie quarterbacks and mistakes they make, but an 11-11 record and 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions going into this weekend's games, that wasn't too bad.
Not bad at all. And understandably, a lot of people talking about Prescott and Wentz, but you say Cody Kessler deserves a little love.
I think so. He made a 6th start against Dallas, threw a touchdown pass, and continues to be accurate and tough in the pocket. Carson Wentz, I think, is still playing well, despite the fact the team's had a little bit of a losing skid. But Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdown passes at Green Bay, threw 3 more against Cleveland last weekend.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
All right, they're over. Box.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And coming out now, the Broncos. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation in a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 4th and 3.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to run. It starts. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now Thompson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Quentin Rollins there on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And McManus able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Well, Charles, one thing that had you and I chuckling after Week 9 was Marquette King, the Raiders punter.
Tell the truth, you weren't chuckling. You were cracking
I was
up.
cracking up, doing a little dance, and after the game, he said he was just trying to imitate that Von Miller dance in the Madden commercial.
Yeah, he said, hey, got to get your own due, right? Make sure it goes viral, and indeed it did.
And then he started riding the pony at the end there.
He's doing it all. But you know something? He deserves to. He's having a heck of a year punting the football for the Oakland Raiders. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Rodgers looking to, and he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So the Broncos coming out now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. Shreds the tackle. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football.
And he coughed it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talk about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches right.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Von Miller in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Complete. Starks on the screen. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Flush to his right. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take